first initial impression, when I got the call from Dave, it was a random phone call. I was actually driving. I talked to Paul today, and we were thinking maybe we could put something together again. It's been over 2 decades. And so my knee-jerk reaction, which is normally all of my reactions are knee-jerk, was, yeah, that's not going to work, or, it just doesn't feel right. But the more I thought about it, I said, well, maybe I need to give it a chance, So I started into this whole thing, entertaining the idea, more out of just respect for Dave and I's relationship, because he said, hey, I want you to just take a look and, see if it's something that might be beneficial for us. Maybe we can, bury the hatchet, so to speak. So I said, okay, I'll entertain the idea. I should get a t-shirt that says, I'll do it for Dave.
Last time I think 3 of us played together was in Corona.
Yeah, that last show, the switch one, yeah. Well, here, let me turn.
Alright, so June of 98, that means 19, 20, 21. Man, this summer will be 24 years. Check.
I see a level there.
Check.
What's wrong with this picture?
Totally, what am I doing over here? Can you talk?
I don't know anything about that. Check.
You hear that other note? Is it only me that's
Oh yeah, that's.
It's a vocoder, dude.
You got a vocoder in there?
Well, what do we want to do?
Oh, I thought that was it. Okay, we set up.
Okay, next meeting.
Well, what do you guys know? It's easier for me.
I think we should warm up with "Wish You Were Here."
Okay.
Let's fool around with
That one I actually know.
Is it? No. Don't let me just.
No, that sounds good.
Yeah.
It always starts out with that. What we never had before, and I think that we're all better musicians, at least in our heads now.
Yeah, it doesn't come out.
We probably recognize more things now.
Yeah.
We've seen more.
Yeah.
And then it just explodes into the verse.
Yeah.
So it's and we can kind of vibe and vamp. We could play that for 2 minutes.
Right.
So what would the...
So then, over some kind of a...
Yeah, what's the rhythm?
I don't know.
That chorus I like.
Yeah?
Dude, I'm going 16.
Because it came out of it.
Yeah, you're doing Chili Peppers.
Yes.
And you're.
So last chorus, I just went
kind of trade
disco.
roles. I'm holding it down,
Right.
and then you have to hold it down while I do that. I guess.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah? Yeah, it felt pretty natural.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was fighting anybody.
Right.
And so Paul and I went to lunch, and it was good. We had caught up, and it's funny because I don't know if he recognized this, but I started to recognize of actually how we thought the same about a lot of things. We disagreed on a lot of things, and maybe saw, how things unfolded from 2 different perspectives. But when it comes down to it, our work ethic and our what's important and those types of things, you know, I felt like we had kind of reconnected on some of those things, and so it went well. And I felt like we were able to be honest with each other and just kind of clear the air on some things. And so that put me in a place where I said, okay, you know, what would be the next step?
We could do one other old tune that we know, like my favorite, I keep telling Dave, was always
Wait and see.
Wait and See.
He likes Wait and See.
I just like Wait and See, it's fun to play. And it's a simple one where I just built jam, just to do more jamming.
How do we, yeah, how's it go?
They did 5-string note for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How does it start?
Oh yeah, because the intro. It starts, you do.
Oh, okay, now
Yeah, you'll get it when you.
talk about pulling that out of my brain.
Like we figured it out.
Like halfway through, yeah.
Your solo was a shredder.
Because how long after we left did you guys tour these?
Well-
Because you didn't have a new album, right?
Well, we still did this song the whole time.
The whole time?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
We did like probably 6 of these songs the whole time. So
Wow.
through 2001 or 2000,
Yeah.
and so another
you
couple
put
of years.
it's more in your
But it's
memory.
been still 23 years.
Sure.
since
Yeah.
then.
No, I know. But it's just like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like the juice is in there somewhere, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh, that it
right.
comes more
But
natural.
this was just always one of my favorite songs because
Right.
it's just so much fun to play. Like I don't remember those licks now, but the bass was really fun to play.
Yeah.
And it was just
I remember.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
No, we've made fun. Remember the bullseye thing you talked about?
Oh, yeah.
Remember? It's a song now. I took that idea and I put it. I'm like,
Like, you want a bullseye? Just sure.
Right. Just like it's called Bullseye Gallery. It's a whole
Yeah, that
gallery.
one is really cool now, I think.
That one's more Mayfair Laundry. But I took your idea, and I'm like, dude, Frank says bullseye. Like we have bullseyes. Like, and it's all because you aren't doing anything. You're just sitting there. So
So
you
the
don't.
chorus like get up.
Yeah, get up.
Yeah.
You're safer when you're moving. Was what
Right.
Kim came up with,
Yeah.
like serpentine.
Yeah.
Spin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So do the bullseye gallery too.
I think doing that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
go
then
down
you
the-
know, and that's the turnaround in the verse.
It's like an interlude of the verse.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, and you're basically an E there, and then you're an octave. I feel like if I jump in too rhythmically, it's just too much. Well, and the thing is, it does become like Led Zeppelin
Yeah.
if we're doubling up everything.
Well, if we're doubling up like you're doing like low string. Yeah, the only thing I'm missing is the concept of the verses was singing riff, singing riff.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So it's like, and we're all.
Okay, okay.
So it's like singing riff, singing riff.
There you go. That's what he's wanting.
That's what I was
Okay,
hearing.
big. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing I learned, but I mean, because we grew up just playing with the same group of people,
Right, right.
is when you start to like play with a lot of different people, you just have to start to listen to your surroundings because no one's going to cater like we did to each other.
Right.
Yeah.
No, because it was just kind of natural, like, oh, we just kind of understood what each other were going to do, and
Yeah.
we just rolled with it. But you get in certain settings, and you just have to just find a way to kind of.
Well, yeah, true, but not only that, in my opinion of church musicians, is generally Sunday's their only time to get all their licks out. You know?
Oh yeah.
And so you've got that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
No.
And so,
You mean like us?
Yeah.
I went through a period of time where I banned pianos and acoustic guitars from church.
You know, we have a drummer.
Right. Yeah. Right.
They just want to play like
Oh,
they
no.
just want to play like they're the only one playing.
Yeah, no, I get it.
That's the first half of the chorus. So
Those are just 2 chords, right?
it's just 2 chords so far. Yeah, which again we don't go Led Zeppelin, but that's what it's doing for now.
Why do you use drum and Led Zeppelin so much?
Gotta work on that a little bit. I'm not with you on it.
Yeah, and I keep like wanting to rock so bad I forget the next part.
You're having too much fun.
I'm having fun now.
So, okay.
Yeah.
To catch up.
We said, well, let's put our instruments on. Let's just see, I mean, we could, reconnect as friends. We could bury the hatchet. We could act like everything's okay, but we don't know what's going to happen when we start to play music together, again, whether the chemistry is still there or whether we feel the same about things. And so, long story short, we got together, strapped up, and it took about 30 minutes. And after about the first half hour, I felt like, okay, this might be fun. It's really hard to describe. You really can't explain it. And nor do I think a lot of people ever get to experience it. When you play music with people and there's just kind of everything just kind of falls into place. And even if you don't find the perfect blend of something at the time, or you don't conquer, the material you're working on, there's still like this weird musical relationship to where everything just kind of falls in its slot. I feel like Dave plays very soulful and has a lot of finesse. He would disagree, and he would say that he's entry level, but he's actually very good. Paul's very melodic, he listens to all the instrumentation and, is trying to complement, play for the song type of thing. Paul says I bring personality to the band, like kind of that element of making sure it's not too normal. And so I guess that's my role, is to make sure that it's just slightly obtuse at times.
Feels like the way.
The way. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way to make music.
Yeah.
Well, it just feels like us.
This feels like us. Which was what we were really hoping. We come up with an idea, which we did. We bring it to Frank, and then it becomes a song.
Yeah. Well, that's what I kept saying. I said it's the missing link. The missing link. We can come up with all these flavors, but the missing link is the tone, the beef.
I feel pretty free.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean,
And
Yeah,
the
it's
intro.
a-
and it feels like
stages.
super like, oh, I'm being myself.
Right. Exactly.
Which is, like if I had like any apprehension at all, it was always about,
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm going to feel okay in my own skin,
Well-
And I realized that this is the last 25 years of me having to play church music.
Well, yeah. And like, it's funny because for the last half an hour, starting with you were trying this, you're trying that, trying this.
Yeah.
And it's just the journey that ultimately became,
Right.
yeah.
For me, that's the fun
It was
part.
basically what we always did.
That's what we always did, exactly.
You just started working on it, and then it's like, okay, what can I add?
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
me, that's the fun part. It's the process. When it's done, it's kind of like, okay, it's done. But it's like the creative process, that's what gives me the juice. It's like,
No, but
yeah,
that's-
let's
Yeah,
try
okay.
that.
I like the way that's developing.
I'm feeling optimistic, if I have to be truthful. We'll just see how things develop, we've all agreed to not get ahead of ourselves and just to, take baby steps. I think Dave's the peacemaker of the group. He just wants to make sure that, nobody kills each other. Paul's been very gracious and, the old friend I remember. And I feel reasonably at peace. I'm guarded, but I'm guarded about everything. So that's just me.
So what you're saying is we're better than our replacements? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and like you were asking me, because I've been at their place a couple of times, what's it like? Is it like, and it's like, no, it's just like, we'll say a thing and be like, kind of like this, well, I don't know. And then Kim's like, well, what about this? Yeah. Oh, yeah, do that. Because the whole idea is just to throw it all out. Yeah. It's like buffet style.
And I'm just trying to live as much as I can on Dave's initial concept of we just have to let go of ourselves, let go of whatever. Yeah. I'm trying my hardest to do that.
I feel really good about how particularly you feel. Yeah. Right. You're having fun, you're digging it, you're not feeling like you're, like saying, oh man, at least that's not what I'm getting from you.
Well, no.
like oh wow, this is going to be hard.
I know, but no, when I was, the journey of this song, you hit that one chord, I'm like, oh, that's exactly what, I love.
That's the thing is communication, instead of being like, oh, it's not, it's like, dude, this is what I'm looking for. And when you said that, then he's like, oh, and then it was like, get big, you mean? Yeah. So it's like,
so I was actually holding back, okay, I hear a lot of structure,
but in the end, oh, it's awesome.
Yeah. But and I think we all are a little bit a one-trick pony, I know that, if someone listens to me play for a while, they're going to just hear some of the repetition.
But that's what we're after.
But that's what we're after, because it's the sound, right? We literally, with this song here, as I'm playing it and listening, I'm just going, this is exactly Mayfair Laundry.
But I could never do this in other settings, what we just did. I could never work that fast.
Because we've got 30 years of doing this.
Oh, dude.
When we were doing Scrub and we're traveling with these bands and like Switchfoot or even Big Tent, I'm going, their music all sounds so grown up and we play this silly music, right? Yeah. That's what I thought. I thought I love the songs, but Lovely Feet, Sweet Your Partner, we do these silly songs and they do these rich, deep songs. Not that our songs weren't deep lyrically, but it felt like.
No, I get it. They sound almost garage band rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is kind of what we were.
Yeah, the fun with way more depth. Right. That's how I feel about this new one.
Well, I remember somebody in some article saying, you can say what you want about Scrub. You never heard a band having more fun. You know what I mean? It was just like this.
Yeah, that's a great point.
The general we're just dude, we're just gonna throw it all at you really fast.
Right. Yeah, when you got everybody else out there being serious.
Yeah, we're just taking it one step at a time. I'm just going to leave it at that.